I want you to put yourself in the shoes of someone who has to live every day of their life with a debilitating condition. Now, imagine being told that your treatment is not a pill you have to take every day for the rest of your life. Instead, doctors will collect your cells, they'll change them in a lab, and they'll put them back into your body to fight that disease that's negatively affecting you. It sounds like something from a science fiction movie, but it's actually already happening in modern medicine. Today, I'm going to talk about stem cell and gene therapies. I chose this topic because biotechnology can sound intimidating, but it affects real people and real families. And as someone who is approaching finishing their bachelor's degree in biotechnology, I feel like these are some things that don't get talked about enough. So today, I'll explain what stem cell and gene therapies are, how they can benefit patients, and why they still need careful oversight and better access. To start, stem cells and gene therapies work by either using whole cells or the genetic instructions inside of them as the treatment tools. According to the National Institute of Health, stem cells can divide to make more stem cells, and they can also become different types of cells in the body, a process that's called differentiation. This matters because some treatments use stem cells to help rebuild parts of the body. For example, after certain cancer treatments damage a person's blood forming cells, stem cells can help replace those cells that were lost and allow them to produce their own blood again. Gene therapy is a little different. The National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute explains that genetic therapies treat genetic disorders by giving cells new DNA or fixing DNA that is not working correctly. A simple way to separate the two is this: stem cell therapy focuses more on the whole cell, while the gene therapies just try to help the cell be able to do what it's supposed to do normally. So, in some treatments, the ideas can actually both be used together to perform an even stronger effect. And now that the basic science is a little more clear, next question is why these therapies are such a big deal. One major benefit of these treatments is that they can target disease in a more direct and longer lasting way than traditional medicines. Sickle cell disease affects hemoglobin, which is the protein that helps red blood cells carry oxygen throughout your body, which obviously is needed. The problem comes from a mutation in the gene that controls how the hemoglobin is made. Because of that, the red blood cells can become misshapen and can cause serious pain, organ damage, and other complications. According to a recent announcement from the US FDA, a new drug was approved within the past week, actually, for patients as young as 2. And this is important because this type of treatment is connected to the genetic cause of the disease. Instead of only managing the symptoms, it gives patients a treatment option that can change the way their body handles the condition for the rest of their life. So, cell based therapies can also help the immune system fight something like cancer. The National Cancer Institute explains that CAR T cell therapy takes a patient's own T cells, which are a type of white blood cell, and they re engineer it in a lab after taking it out of the body so that it can more accurately target the cancer cells within the body before they put it back in. And what this means is that it's personalized to that patient and will help prevent things such as attacking healthy cells in the body, something that a traditional treatment like chemotherapy does a lot, which is why you lose things like your hair and you get more pallid skin. It's because your normal cells are also being attacked by the chemotherapy. So, CAR T cell therapy isn't perfect and still has risks, but the idea behind it is powerful. And these benefits are exciting, but we do have to be realistic. Stem cell and gene therapies are powerful, but they're expensive and not equally available to everyone. One reason careful oversight matters is because these treatments can come with serious risks if things aren't done properly. A well known example is Jesse Gelsinger's case. The NYU Grossman School of Medicine explains that Jesse Gelsinger was a teenager with a condition called OTC deficiency, and in 1999, he opted into a gene therapy trial that used a viral vector to carry the gene in its working form to his liver to fix it. Unfortunately, after the injection, he had a severe reaction and died a few days later. The same NYU source explains that an investigation into the events had concerns on whether the risks were appropriately explained and clearly to Gelsinger, and whether conflicts of interest with the people running the trial were disclosed at all. So his death caused a major setback for gene therapy for quite a few years, but it also pushed the field toward much stronger safety rules. And there's a phrase that is very frequently used in biotech, especially with regulations, that regulations or rules are written in blood. This is an example of it. So another major issue would be access. If a treatment requires cell collection and everything that comes along with that, it requires major medical facilities to help support that. Unfortunately, if you don't live near those, it can be difficult to access them. On top of that, if you don't have the money to travel, you might not have any chance to get to them. Along with locational challenges can come financial ones. These are very expensive, and not all insurance companies will actually cover them. I actually had the chance to go to BioMarin and see their genetic therapy facility where they produce their drug called Roctavian. But unfortunately, they were shutting it down. And I actually found a source of the National Bleeding Disorders Foundation that talked about it. And it was effectively shut down because they couldn't get insurers to pay the steep price, because the insurers feared that anyone who they effectively cured with it would just leave and not pay their insurance anymore. So they didn't want to do it. That shows that even when a therapy exists, it does not always mean the patients will have the access or the money to get it, because insurance or location might prevent them from it. So that's what stem cells are, that's what gene therapy is, and that's how they can help you, and what some of the risks are when it comes to using them. But the main thing I want you to remember is that biotechnology is not only about the labs, the microscopes, and complicated science terms, but when it's at its best, biotechnology is about giving people new chances when traditional treatments aren't enough. Thank you.